put your hands up if you got questions for Joe. Justin, you want to start us off?
Hey, Joe, hope you're doing well, man. I guess just to get us started here, can you kind of tell us what life has been like for you these past 90 days after, your final college season wrapped up and you've kind of transitioned into, getting ready for the draft and turning into a pro?
Yeah, so right after the UK game, I had a weekend where I went home, dropped all my stuff off, moved out of my apartment in Raleigh, and then shipped off to Boston and started my training. I was up there the whole time. About 4 or 5 weeks into my training, I was fortunate enough to get an invite to the Hula Bowl. And then I went out to Hawaii to compete in that, which was a great experience, a great time. And it was just a great opportunity to go to Hawaii. Never going to turn that down and showcase just more of my football talents. And then finished off training for about 5 more weeks. And then come back. I just got back into town Thursday. And I've been at a hotel, just coming back to town or coming into the weight room and getting on the field and just doing some touch-up stuff before the pro day tomorrow.
And as a follow-up, who are some teams that you've already, been in dialogue with, had some conversations with, ahead of the draft?
Just when I got to the Hula Bowl, some teams reached out to me, sat down, had some interviews, and that was a great time. Some teams still made contact during training, just sending me surveys or questionnaires or scouts just talking. But really looking forward to tomorrow and getting more face time with the scouts and showing off just my athletic capabilities and what I can do on the field.
Thanks, man.
Andrew.
Joe, I know obviously you've had some recent NFL or former teammates at NC State and guys like Garrett Bradbury from your position group who have gone through this process and made it to the NFL. How much have you talked to guys like that in terms of getting advice about the pre-draft process?
Yeah, fortunately, I do have a lot of contacts and friends just from, like you kind of said, Garrett. He's been a great resource. He's been a great friend throughout the process. And every time I've asked questions, he's always been fortunate. I've been fortunate enough to get an answer from him, just get little insights of what are they looking for? What's the best thing to be doing? How should I best present myself to give myself the best chance to get drafted and go to the NFL? It's been a great resource for sure. But I've definitely reached out to Bradbury a few times and talked to him just during this whole 10-week or 11-week training course that I've been going through.
Jonas.
Hey, Joe, thanks for taking the time today. Aleem kind of touched on this. He said, since he's been training, he's had a nutritionist staff kind of watching what he's been eating, and he feels like he's in his best shape. He feels great because he's been eating differently and training differently. As you chug your water, it's perfect timing. What's it been like when you have the whole staff and you just focus on your body and just focus on getting in the best shape of your life these last few months in preparation for your pro day and in preparation for your future pro career?
Right. So it's a little different. It's a weird shift in mindset. And honestly, I think it's kind of difficult to shift your mindset from being a college professional or college football player to a professional. I think once you get put in that situation, you either, rise to the situation or you fall back. And I definitely rise to the situation. I was fortunate enough to be around some very professional people up in Boston. Athletic Evolution, they took care of me. They prepared me the best way possible. They put me through every drill that they could have come up with to get me in the best athletic shape of my life. And there was no thinking to it. It was pretty much they pointed and I ran and I got done. They handed me a meal and I got done recovering. It was pretty, I don't want to say it was brainless, but it was essentially them, just me following their program and what they did. Because I know they had results before. They actually trained T.Y. McGill when he was going through the process. So, and he had great numbers on his pro day. So I know I was in the right place and I was in good hands and I was going to give myself the best opportunity to showcase my talents tomorrow.
Are you heavier? Are you lighter? Are you about the same now as you were when you finished at State?
I'm a few pounds lighter. I think I'm like 7 or 8 pounds lighter, like 299. So.
Jen Lewis.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for taking my question. So this is going to go back to the fall, but what did it mean to you and the other guys when like the majority of the NC State parents went to Governor Cooper's office to get permission to come see you guys play live?
Wow. It feels like it was a lifetime ago. So going into our first home game, it was a kind of a toss-up on if whether or not they're going to let fans in the stands at all. Of course, we as players, we wanted our close family and friends to be able to come, and it was still hashing back and forth. It was still pretty crazy, hectic times, and there wasn't any really policies to follow. But fortunately, our parents did, rise up and got enough and did their magic, and were able to petition to get into the stadium, which I was super proud. I was super glad to see my family in the stands, my parents, just to see me my last first game in Carter Finley.
Thanks. Sorry for going back a lifetime ago, but thank you.
No, it was good. No, it's definitely hectic times whenever we were going through that stuff, and I was glad that we were able to pull through and everyone as safely as possible.
Joshua Allen, you have another one?
Yeah, just so your position flexibility center guard, when you've been speaking to teams, what have they kind of projected you more as, a center or guard? And have one of those teams potentially been the Buccaneers that you've spoken with?
The Buccaneers. So I've talked to a lot of teams, and they everyone sees my versatility as playing both guard and center. Some teams see me more as a center, some teams see me more as a guard, but they both all the teams I've recognized or spoken to have recognized that I do both, and that is probably one of my biggest assets I carry with me as I attempt to play professional football. Is I feel comfortable playing any of the interior positions, offensive line. I feel comfortable to play left guard, center, right guard, all in the same series if I have to. Just whatever a team needs me to do, I feel comfortable enough to play it, and I'm able to fill that role and just be as versatile as possible, so I can land myself a job in the NFL.
And have you spoken with the Buccaneers?
I have not spoken with the Buccaneers.
Thank you. Best of luck on your journey.
Jonas, you have another one?
Yeah, I had a quick follow-up, Joe. Aleem said he's been so impressed with the new regiment and the meal plan. He's scared to have a cheat day. He said he might have one after the pro day, but he said he just loved the way he's feeling. Have you had your cheat day yet, or have you've been so strict to it, just like Aleem?
I'll tell you what, though, it's a bad day to be a piece of fried chicken after the pro day. I'll tell you that. So.
Sorry, you made me laugh, Joe. Justin, you have something else?
Joe, that was a good one as always. I wanted to ask you about, the NC State offensive line moving forward. Obviously, you were a really big part of that, especially last season and, as a regular starter. But, considering the returning pieces coming back and there's going to be some younger guys elevated to positions that they hadn't had before, what do you expect from that group this upcoming season? And maybe, a couple younger guys that maybe aren't as much on the radar, but you expect some big things from in the years to come.
I'll tell you what, I feel bad for the defensive linemen that have to go against our offensive line next season. They're going to be doing great things, and I expect very high things out of everyone across the line. Granted, I did decide to go on and move on from my career. I don't think there's going to be a drop-off in any of the positions. If anything, they're going to be increased and they're going to rise and continue to raise the standard that we've established for offensive line play at NC State. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of my guys play. I was actually lucky enough to go out there and watch them scrimmage the other day, and I thought they looked really, really good. I felt like they haven't missed a beat. Obviously, they've been training, and I know they're gonna want to continue to chase the success that we've established last year and continue to set that bar for NC State as a whole. And I'm looking forward to seeing the offensive line lead the way through all the future wins at NC State.
Jen, you have a follow-up?
Yes, and thank you. Who do you emulate yourself after the most? I'm sure you take bits and pieces from a lot of folks, but who would you say you emulate yourself after the most?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that kind of goes back to who do I look up to as my mentors and leaders and people that I aspire to be like, first and foremost, my parents. If it wasn't for them giving me the opportunity and pushing me to chase my dreams, I don't even know if I'd be sitting in this chair in front of you guys right now. They've given me a great life, and they've given me nothing but support through this journey, from high school to now, and chasing my dreams of playing football professionally. And I love them dearly for it, and I hope I'll be able to pay them back as much as they paid or given me over the past 22 years of my life, right? And then coaches, I've had a lot of coaches mentor me from NC State, from high school. I even talked to one of my Pop Warner coaches still. He reached out to me earlier this week. I take little bits and pieces from everyone that's invested in me, and I take that investment that they placed in me very seriously, and I hope to be able to make them proud coming up in April. Hopefully get my name called on draft day and showing them that they didn't waste their time in me, and that everything they've given to me, I've used to my full potential to give myself a successful career. And hope that kind of answers your question. But yeah, I just really hope to impress and make proud of all the people that invested in my career up until this point, and show them that, you know, it wasn't a waste, and that I'm here for a reason.
That's a good note to end it on. Does anybody else have any questions for Joe?